Hey everyone, and welcome back to my kitchen. Today, we're diving into something truly special, something that will elevate your sandwiches, salads, and snack time to a whole new level. We're making the ultimate homemade pickled cucumbers. And when I say ultimate, I mean it. We're talking super quick, incredibly crunchy, and packed with so much flavor you'll never want to buy store-bought pickles again. Forget those sad, flimsy pickles you find in a jar. These are the real deal, and I am going to show you just how easy it is to make them right at home. So, if you're ready for a crunch that you can hear from a mile away, stick around. First things first, let's talk about our star player, the cucumber. The type of cucumber you choose really makes a difference. For pickling, you want to look for smaller, firm varieties like Kirby or Persian cucumbers. They have fewer seeds and thicker skin, which is the secret to that amazing, long-lasting crunch. Avoid the large, waxy cucumbers you typically use for a salad. They tend to get mushy when pickled. When you're at the store, give them a gentle squeeze. You want them to feel firm and solid, with no soft spots. And make sure they're fresh. The fresher the cucumber, the crunchier the pickle. I've got a beautiful batch of Kirby's right here, freshly washed and ready to go. Now let's prep our cucumbers. This part is crucial for getting that perfect texture. We're not going to peel them. That skin is essential for the crunch. We just need to trim off the ends. There's an enzyme in the blossom end of the cucumber that can cause them to soften during the pickling process, so it's a good habit to snip about 1/8 of an inch off both ends. For the shape, you have options. You can slice them into classic round chips, which are perfect for burgers. You can cut them into spears for a great side snack, or you can even leave them whole if they're small enough. Today, I'm feeling some nice, thick-cut chips, about 1/4 inch thick. You want them substantial enough to hold up and deliver that satisfying snap. I'm just going to slice up this whole bowl here. The consistency and thickness is key, so they all pickle evenly. With our cucumbers all sliced and ready, let's talk about the magic liquid, the brine. This is where all the flavor comes from. A great brine is a balance of sour, salty, and a little bit of sweet. For our base, we're using a simple mixture of white vinegar and water. A 1-to-1 ratio is a perfect starting point. So in this saucepan, I'm going to add 2 cups of water and 2 cups of white vinegar. You can also use apple cider vinegar for a slightly different, fruitier tang, but I love the clean, classic taste of white vinegar for this recipe. Next up, the salt and sugar. Salt is not just for flavor, it's essential for the pickling process itself, helping to draw out moisture from the cucumbers and keep them crisp. I'm using pickling salt, which dissolves easily and doesn't have additives that can make your brine cloudy. If you can't find it, non-iodized sea salt is a good substitute. For these 4 cups of liquid, I'm adding 3 tablespoons of pickling salt. Now for the sugar. This balances the sharpness of the vinegar. You don't need a lot unless you're making sweet pickles. I find that 2 tablespoons of regular granulated sugar is just right to round out the flavors without making them overly sweet. We'll just add that right into the pot. Now, for the fun part, the aromatics. This is where you can get really creative. The classic pickling spices are a great place to start. I'm adding 1 tablespoon of mustard seeds, 1 tablespoon of coriander seeds, and about a teaspoon of black peppercorns. These 3 create that traditional dill pickle flavor profile we all know and love. But wait, there's more. To really make these pickles pop, I'm adding a few cloves of garlic. I'm just going to give them a light smash with the side of my knife to release their oils and flavor. No need to mince them. 3 or 4 cloves should do the trick. And of course, we can't have pickles without dill. I've got some beautiful fresh dill here. I'm going to add a few generous sprigs right into my jars later. The fresh stuff is so much better than dried for this, so we have our brine ingredients in the saucepan. All we need to do now is heat it up. We'll turn the stove on to medium-high heat and bring this mixture to a rolling boil. We want to make sure the salt and sugar are completely dissolved. You can give it a little stir to help it along. While that's heating up, let's prepare our jars. I'm using 2 standard-sized mason jars. Make sure your jars and lids are super clean. You can run them through the dishwasher or wash them with hot, soapy water and rinse them well. We're making refrigerator pickles today, so we don't need to go through the full canning sterilization process, which is what makes this recipe so quick and easy. Our brine is boiling, so I'll turn off the heat. Now it's time to assemble everything. First, let's pack our jars. I'm going to start by adding some of our fresh dill and a smashed garlic clove to the bottom of each jar. This ensures the flavor gets distributed all the way through. Now, let's pack in our cucumber slices. You want to pack them in there pretty tightly, but don't smash them. We want to fit as many as we can so they're all submerged in that delicious brine. Leave about a ½ inch of headspace at the top of the jar. I'll just fill up my second jar here as well. Look at that. Perfect. All those beautiful green slices ready to be transformed. Now carefully, let's pour our hot brine over the cucumbers. I like to use a ladle to make this less messy. Make sure you get all those spices, the mustard seeds, coriander and peppercorns, distributed between the jars. Pour the brine all the way up, completely covering the cucumbers, still leaving that ½ inch of headspace. The hot liquid will start to cook the cucumbers ever so slightly, which is part of the magic. Once they're filled, I'll just use a spoon to gently press down the cucumbers to make sure they're all submerged and to release any trapped air bubbles. Now, we'll wipe the rims of the jars with a clean cloth to ensure a good seal, and then we'll screw on the lids. You want them to be fingertip tight, not so tight that you need a wrench to open them later, but secure enough to seal. And that's pretty much it for the hard work. Now comes the hardest part, the waiting, but don't worry, it's not a long wait. We're going to let these jars cool down on the counter to room temperature. You might even hear a little pop as the lids seal, which is always so satisfying. Once they've cooled completely, pop them into the refrigerator. Now, you could technically eat these after just a few hours, but for the best flavor and crunch, I highly recommend waiting at least 24 hours. This gives the brine time to really penetrate the cucumbers and for all those amazing flavors to meld together. After 48 hours, they're even better. These are refrigerator pickles, so they need to be stored in the fridge, where they'll stay delicious and crunchy for up to a month, if they even last that long in your house. And there you have it. In just a few simple steps, you've made your very own batch of incredible, crunchy, homemade pickles. Look at these beauties. The color is vibrant and you can see all those spices and fresh dill floating around. The smell is just amazing. Let's open up a jar I made a couple of days ago so you can see the final result. Listen to this. Crunch. That is the sound of success. The flavor is bright, tangy, garlicky, with that fresh dill shining through. They are absolutely perfect. I promise once you try this, you'll be making them all the time. They're perfect for snacking, for adding to a charcuterie board, chopping up into potato salad, or, my personal favorite, on a juicy burger. Thank you so much for joining me in the kitchen today. I hope you feel inspired to give this super easy pickle recipe a try. It's so rewarding and so delicious. If you do make them, let me know how they turn out in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more simple and delicious recipes. Hit that notification bell so you never miss a new video. Happy pickling, everyone! See you next time!